What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. I'm pumped. It is Sunday and I got a FedEx delivery. Didn't even know that they delivered on Sundays. I got my Blaze Performance intake in the mail and I'm super excited to get this on this car. I'm going to do it right away. This is mod number 2 before going to the drag strip. I already unboxed it. I mean, I literally just could not wait. I have everything here. Everything's unboxed, but I'll go over the entire install. And one thing that I noticed about this intake, it is massive. Blaze Performance. I mean, this intake is huge. So we may have to go a different route on how to install this compared to like other intakes. But I mean, I'm super pumped, guys. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I need to take out the old APR intake, which is going to be for sale, and the MSD in my pipe, which is also going to be for sale. I'm going to be putting that on my Instagram in case anybody does want to buy it, but I'll sell it for a good deal. Okay, so first off, I want to show this because it's insane how big the opening for the intake is. So we have the intake itself, we have the ducting that lets air come through. This goes together, that snaps together with the first piece that I just showed. And then I already did put this together, but this is the intake hose with the inlet clamp. This has to be tightened on after I put that on, where your PCV hose is going to go and where the vacuum line is going to go for the intake. And then this is the entire, I mean, this thing is insane. Like, I'm going to clean all this out, but look at, I mean, that's my whole fist in there. Look at how much room there is. I mean, this is going to be absolutely ridiculous when it goes on the car. Okay, so I think I'm going to start by putting this by itself first, where the turbo is on the inlet side, because the hose is massive, so it won't allow everything to go together. So I'm going to put this on first, put that in place so I can turn it, and then I'm going to install the intake hose after that. I'm going to place this where it'll be ready to turn once I push it into place on the actual turbo all the way in. Should be good. You want to make sure you line this up 100%. Now that that's on, I'm going to start working with the intake hose, which, I mean, holy God, this is huge. This is going to be a very tight fit, like an extremely tight fit. I think what I'm going to have to do, I might have to take off this clamp. I knew this would be a little tricky to get because of just the huge size of it. All right, guys, so I was able to get the intake hose on. As you can see, it's all in and it is massive. The only thing that you need to be careful of is the reservoir when you're putting this on, because there's barely any clearance, and on this side as well. And I already put the PCV hose back into place with the fitting there that goes to the intake tube. But I mean, this thing is, guys, this is huge. I mean, but it looks great. Now I'm gonna start working on getting the filter here and the ducting that goes right in the front. And I already pulled off the OEM ducting here because you can't use that when you put the new one in. So let's get into that. Guys, just for reference, I wanted to show you the intake, how it goes. So there's 3 little screws that hold it on into place, and the filter is in here. And then this side is gonna go there, and this side is gonna go to the ducting in the front. So these screws allow the intake, the filter itself, not to slip out of this little sleeve here that it comes with. So now we're gonna put it, at least the way I think I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna install the ducting first there, and then I'm gonna try and slip the filter between both and then get them all tightened up. Right, guys, so we have the ducting right here, 2 screws right there so that it holds it into place. 1 tab here and another tab here so it goes into the OEM spots. And then there's 2 tabs on the back that you're gonna wanna bend. That's gonna hold that into place, and the little trim to make it nice and clean. So this is gonna slide under like so. This side's also gotta go under this little piece here. There we go. Again, the thing with this intake is that it is a very, very tight fit. So, and I guess that's a good thing. At least I know everything's gonna be nice and snug. And this thing, there we go, that's that side. Now I just gotta worry about this side going through. There we go. So now that's in place. And I'm gonna be using the original OEM screws that it comes with. So I'm just gonna tighten each one of these down. Just one, and then we're gonna have two. Okay, now that's all nice and snug, which is really nice. And now we're gonna start working on the filter to put that into place. Also, before the filter, I suggest you put the vacuum line on the bottom of the intake tube, and it comes with a little fitting here, and it just literally slides on the bottom. I think I'm gonna put a clamp on this just in case, because it does feel like a little loose, so I might get like a small hose clamp just to hold that into place. But for now, let me just leave that there. I can figure that out in a second. Actually, no, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna grab a clamp. I suggest you guys put a little, if you have one, right here. It shouldn't fall off, but I just want to be safe. All right, guys, so I ended up putting a little clamp on the vacuum line right there under the intake hose so that it's all nice and together. So now I'm gonna start working on the actual filter to put on. Now this is gonna be tough because this, I think, is gonna be the tightest area to actually install this. Everything else is in place. I have all this ready to go. Try and see how we could do this. I think I'm gonna start, oh yeah, this, I mean, it just fits. That's the thing. It literally just, okay, just want to be careful not to ruin anything. Actually, you know what? Let me go this way first. Go to the actual, there we go. Wow, this thing is insanely in there. I mean, in a way, obviously it's good. How, okay, so that's in. Now I'm going to size it up onto the ducting. Pull this out a little bit. Size. There it is. Okay, so I was able to get the filter on. I'm just going to twist this a little bit so that I can show the blaze performance right on top, like so. I got the one big clamp here, and I got the one big clamp here on the intake hose. So now I'm going to tighten this up, obviously, to make sure that we're all good all the way around. And again, this is gotta be the tightest fitting intake, I think, on the market. This thing is, it's honestly insane how big this intake is. I don't want to overdo it, and I don't want to ruin the clamps, obviously. So same thing with the filter one. And that's pretty tight as well. So that's it, guys. And like I said, I already put the PCV back into place into the intake hose. That just snaps together easily. The inlet is on, and I'll show you guys a close-up of everything going from the back to the front right now. Okay, guys, so we're gonna start from the back here. Obviously, we have the inlet right there if this focuses. We have the clamp for the intake hose right there. PCV to right here, with the massive intake hose that, again, it just ends up clearing. We have the vacuum line on the bottom right here with the clamp, as you can see right there. We have the filter inside of this sleeve right here for the filter, and then we have the main ducting right here that lets the airflow come through straight into the filter. And I mean, guys, that thing is like, I don't know if you can tell how big this is, but like literally I could put my entire, like half of my arm up into almost my elbow into there. So this thing is absolutely ridiculous. One of the last things that I want to do is to make sure that the actual engine cover fits on top, because as everybody knows, high key, these are very ugly looking engines. So I actually prefer the engine cover than without it. So I'm hoping that this will sit on with no problem, and it won't, I mean, if it, oh, does it? Oh my God, it actually worked. Yeah, it's on. Perfect. Touches a little bit. I'm gonna have to be careful with this just to make sure and look at every once in a while. Might have to put something between there, but it does touch a little bit. And honestly, I'm not surprised because again, this thing is huge, but at the same time, it's not terrible. So I think it'll be okay. Guys, and one more thing that I needed to mention so that you guys are aware, this coolant hose right here that used to go on the OEM ducting on the top, I ran it on the bottom right here, as you can see. Some people I've seen run it on top, but I don't know, I think it just looks ugly just sitting there, so I prefer to run it under the filter like this, and it's got enough slack where it really won't rub on this, so you really don't have to worry. And I still might wrap this in like some, I don't know, maybe some high temp, maybe tape or something like that, just so that, you know, it'll protect this a little bit better. But this is the way I ran it, and this is the way, I don't know, I guess I recommend this. It just looks better this way. All right, guys, so last thing to do is to make sure that this actually sounds good. So we're gonna start up the car and see what it sounds like, give it a couple of revs, and hopefully it's loud, because that's what I want. I need the most airflow with the nicest sound, and that's hopefully what this is gonna give me. Okay guys, so the intake is in. It sounds amazing. I did some revs. It sounds really loud. It sounds really good. So what I'm going to be doing now is, since everything is all good to go and everything is nice and tight, I'm going to take the car out on a drive and see what the car sounds like while driving under some load and see how loud the intake actually is. I'm going to do some in-cabin really quick, and then I'm also going to put the mic in the engine bay just to see how loud it is. And I can't wait. It looks insane, guys, so let's get into that. Okay guys, like I said before, I'm going to take the car out on a drive, do a couple of pulls and see what it sounds like. And then I think I'm going to stick the mic in the engine bay as well, just to get that induction noise, because it was very clear and apparent how much louder this intake is. And obviously by the size of it and how open it is, it's going to be louder most likely. So, and then also I apologize. I have a lot of stuff in my car right now, tools and everything that I brought with me to be able to do the install. So again, I apologize for that. So you might hear some rattles here and there, but let's see how it does. Let's see how it sounds. Guys, one more thing to mention that's been happening to some people when installing this intake on a hybrid setup is that you will have to get a revision on your tune just because of how much more airflow there is. I think there's been some people that have been experiencing some like lean or rich conditions after installing the intake. The benefit of the intake is that your wastegate duty cycle will drop, and there's a lot of things that'll happen that'll allow, you know, the car to just run better and breathe better. But that's one thing that I need to find out, is if my AFRs are okay. Typically somewhere in the mid to high 11s, but if I see anything, you know, in the 10s, high 10s, and it's a little bit rich, which isn't a huge deal, I'm going to send over a log to Matt and then get a revision on that, because it's possible that the car is going to change up a little bit just because of the airflow of the intake. So just keep that in mind when you're installing this on your hybrid setup. So let's do a little right here. Let's just get into it a little bit. Wow. Oh my God, wow. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I hope the camera can pick that up. It is, wow. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, wow. And I will say, believe it or not, it could be placebo, I'm not sure. The car feels a little peppier, like if when you get on throttle, it's responding quicker. And it feels like the car, I don't know, it like spooled up pretty quick, and it would make sense because of the size of this intake. But wow. The fun thing about cars, I was not planning on doing this, but I'm gonna have to do it because I noticed on the little tiny pulls that I did before, I noticed that the car did get a little rich, even on those small little pulls. It went down to 11.02 on the access port. So I took off those monitors, loaded the logging list from EQT, and I'm gonna log the car just to see. I'm gonna send Matt a log just to make sure, and he might have to just tweak it a little bit just to get the car not to be rich, because I know once I do a full pull, it's gonna go rich. I'm sure like somewhere in the 10s. So I'm gonna do a log. I'm gonna look at it myself, and I'm gonna send it over just to see, just to be sure. And again, that's the cool thing about EQT. You can send them your logs, and you know, they'll send you if you have a custom tune, they'll send you a revision for whatever you need, which is awesome. And again, their customer service is fantastic, and their tuning is fantastic. So let me go do that. I'm gonna go to my usual spots, and we're gonna log the car and see what happens. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a log right here just to see, to make sure everything is good. Let me slow it down, and we're gonna hit it. Oh my God. So the good thing about doing a log there, and wow, the car pulls so hard, oh my God. I should be somewhere between 34 and 35 34 and 35 pounds of boost, and I just hit 34.2, which is exactly where I want to be. And wow, the car pulled super hard. My hands got a little sweaty. So I took one log there. I don't know if you guys can hear the intake either. I mean, it screams. It really does. It is super loud. It sounds fantastic. So I just got to upload the log to DataZap. I'll take a look at it and I'll send it over and see what they say. But I mean, at least boost wise, it does look good, and it's hitting exactly where it needs to. So one more log. Let's see. Done. Holy crap, guys, this thing is holy shit. And we just look at that. There were some cops here in Mexico, so I decided to do what I had to do at the right time, and that was still 34.3 pounds of boost. So awesome. So logging's done. And like I said, I did notice it was a little rich before, so we'll see what happens. All right, guys, so that's going to conclude the video. Thank you so much for watching. This intake is insane. It's huge. It sounds good. The car definitely feels a lot better. And I did upload the logs up into my computer on DataZap, and the car is running a little bit rich. It's somewhere in the 10.8 to 10.9 at full throttle. So it is on a little on the rich side. So it is what it is. I'm going to send Matt that log and then see if he can send me over a revision just to compensate for all the airflow coming in now. But that's right, it's not really a big deal. But guys, I love it. I mean, you guys saw it. The thing is massive. It is the best and biggest intake on the market for these cars right now. And honestly, it's worth it because it comes with everything from the inlet to the intake hose all the way to the filter and a brand new like air duct for the air to come through. I mean, you really can't beat it. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm excited. I do have something else coming before I go to the drag strip. I ordered the EQT discharge pipe kit, which that's what I'm waiting on. That's the last mod that I really need, from the turbo muffler to the new charge pipes. I really got to get that in the car. So hopefully that does come in the mail one of these days. So right before I go to the drag strip. But anyways, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.